Just enjoying a vanilla and banana shake. What's up, you guys? It's Aisling. Welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to be doing today's video because the secret's out. I can now talk about my pregnancy, and I've actually never felt so good in my whole entire life that I can talk about something. Keeping quiet to you guys has probably been one of the hardest things, other than not telling my friend Amy, which out of all my friends was the hardest, because I met her about 4 times before I could actually tell her, and I was like avoiding her like the plague. It was the weirdest thing ever. My first friend that I told was Jenna, and I told her when I was 8 weeks, and then I told the rest of the girls and Damien afterwards. But for some reason it was just so hard with Amy, because Amy has 3 children and she's just very in tune with a lot of things, and I was like, she is gonna pick up that I'm pregnant. I have to stay away from her. It was the weirdest thing ever. COVID's been great because you've been able to avoid people. It hasn't been great in telling people because I've had to do a lot of like texting and sending pictures, and my friend Trisha lives in Cork and I am not going to see her until maybe near the baby's due date, which sucks. Damien works in healthcare, so he's an essential worker, so I'm not seeing him as much. My sister's an essential worker. She's a dental nurse, so I'm not seeing her as much. It's been a bit of a tough roller coaster of a ride, as well as been in lockdown ourselves. Myself and Patty are looking for a house at the moment, which is quite stressful, so we've completely and utterly put that off until after the baby's born, because I can't be dealing with looking for houses and being pregnant and dealing with COVID. It's just too much, so that's all been put on the back burner. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my symptoms, my cravings, kind of like we're going to do a little bump update. Oh, I'm so excited to do my first bump update and talk to you guys through the first 12 weeks of my pregnancy. I am now on my 2nd trimester. I'll talk to you a little bit about my 2nd trimester once it's finished, I guess, or in the midway through, or I don't know what way I'm going to do this. I'll structure it as I go along. There's been so many and so much overwhelming support and beautiful messages coming in from you guys on Instagram. I only put up the post last night. I cannot believe how much amazing comments I've to go through, or how many amazing comments. See, baby brain's already affecting me. I'm not the old Aisling. I seriously have the most forgetful mind ever. I have like tons of things that I want to talk to you guys about. Just the fact that some of you have been here for years and you're just saying like you followed me through so much of my journeys online, and it's just amazing. And you know, the fact that you've grown watching my channel as well, and I love the whole thing, and just reading the comments, and I'm just so overwhelmed and happy, and I just want to thank you all, each and every one of you who's made a comment. I want to just thank you, and even if you haven't and you're just watching, thank you so much for your support. Patty and I are going to sit down this weekend and go through loads of the comments. I can't wait to read them all. My mum was reading them last night and I was getting all emotional listening to her reading them out, so I cannot wait to actually do that and try and respond to some of you guys as well. It's just been a lot. Patty and I are going to do a Q&A as well. I have a lot of videos I want to do. I want to do like a baby's names, especially want to talk about Irish baby names, because I feel like a lot of my viewers are from the US and you may not know about some of the Irish baby names, which I think are absolutely beautiful. I know that I have an awful lot of followers from all over the world, but definitely my main demographic would be the US and then the UK. So I know there's amazing, beautiful Irish baby names that I want to share with you guys. And then the other question I get a lot of things about is the gender reveal. I don't like the word gender when it comes to anything, because I mean, that's your own identity and whatever you want to do with it. So the sex of my baby I will not be revealing until it's born, because Patty and I just don't really care to find out before then. Everybody has their own choice when it comes to things like that. I just don't really, you know, it doesn't really make much of a difference to me whether my baby has a penis or a vagina. I don't care. I'm going to rear it the same and love it the same, so I don't really mind what way they want to grow up. I'll support them no matter what. So that's just my own choice, and it just doesn't make any difference to me, and each to their own. I absolutely love people saying whether they're going to have a boy or a girl and, you know, doing that whole thing, but I just, for myself personally, it's just not what Patty and I have decided that we want to do. So much news that it's just kind of been really hard keeping it all to myself. I'm still working full time as well, guys, which has made me just, I could take my mind off the pregnancy and not been able to reveal it online. But I mean, it's just been impossible. So I've just had to stay offline because number one, I've been extremely exhausted, which I'll touch upon. And I've just not really been feeling myself. It's the weirdest sensation. I'm only starting to feel myself around now. Things that I've struggled with a little bit, like weight gain in particular. And obviously you guys know I have a history of eating disorder, and it's something I'll live with forever. I mean, I've gone to counselling for it and spoken to therapists. It's something that will just be with me forever, but it has been a struggle with a little bit of weight gain. But when I was speaking to the midwife the other day, she was telling me, look, this is all baby and it's really good. And, you know, she was reassuring me that I'm right on track. I'm rechanging and rejigging my mind frame on the whole thing. Anyway, that's just how I've been feeling. A little bit emotional lately as well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not an emotional being. Like, it's the strangest thing ever. Like, I'm not really... It's not that I'm not a crier. I, of course, cry. I don't well up all of a sudden out of no reason, for no reason. Like, that's just not me. I know nobody really does that, but you know what I mean? It's just like an overwhelming need to cry, and just been really emotional and upset. Hormones, obviously. Was blaming it before I was pregnant to been like PMS, which again, I wouldn't be overly teary-eyed during PMS. It's just weird. That's been kind of like a major thing going on. Also, I went for my first proper consultation with my consultant and the team of midwives that are going to be looking after me. Well, it depends on the day, I guess, like on what shift the midwives are on. But they're going to be taking care of me delivering the baby. I met with them the other day, so I've had my first scans with the hospital. Patty and I did a private scan. If you're not aware, in Ireland, the partner cannot attend any of the maternity appointments. But I'm just been like, come on, women do this all the time. You're not the first woman to have a baby. You won't be the last. Women are strong. We're designed to do this, and just pull yourself together, sort of thing. Because I have to, and it's the only way that I'm going to be able to have my baby and reduce stress, is just by just getting through it and just doing it. And the appointments that I've had so far have been lovely and very easy, and you know, the team, the midwives, everybody is so lovely. So I'm very grateful for that. There is one thing I did find out the other day. My baby's perfect, but I have a cyst on my left ovary, which is 2 centimeters. They said that they're not really worried about it. It could happen just when you get pregnant, just the progesterone hormones initially, and it can cause a cyst to form. They said that it should go away by itself. If it doesn't, it'll go away after the baby's born. It's not going to affect the baby or impact the baby in any way, shape or form, or my pregnancy or anything. But just if I do feel a bit of pain, it could be that it has popped or burst or whatever, and that I might need to go in and just get another ultrasound just to make sure that happened. I'm going to go through the symptoms from early pregnancy to currently. I have no cravings, just putting that out there, no cravings at all. Like, I might be like, oh, I'd love an ice cream, or I'd really like a can of Fanta or something. That might be the height of it all. It's nothing extreme, and it's not every day. At 4 to 5 weeks, this is just as I found out I was pregnant. I think I found out on 5 weeks on the day, something like that. It's been a thing between myself and Patty all along. We've talked very openly about having babies and getting married and buying a house. You know, he was like, you're the one, and I was just like, you're the one, and I just knew it the day we met each other. COVID's prevented so much. It's just another one of those things. Same as traveling and stuff. We're not going to do that this year. That was what this whole year was all planned about, and that's why Patty and I had decided that we're just going to have a baby next year. So yeah, we had kind of made that decision with COVID and everything. It's not as if we're doing anything else. May as well make a baby. Okay, so 4 to 5 weeks pregnant, I said that my weight had gone up. I had just gone to the doctor. I know I'm not supposed to really weigh myself. I don't tend to weigh myself, but I had weighed myself at the end of July when I was 117 pounds, around 53 kilos. So when I went for my next appointment, it said that I had gained 3 pounds. So I had gained 3 pounds once I found out I was pregnant. Most of it was water retention, bloating. I had sore boobs. I would describe them as like sunburn. It was the weirdest sensation ever. Like, they were so painful. Like, even when Patty would hug me, I was like, oh, they hurt so much. They were really, really painful. I had to buy a top when I was in Belfast because the tops that I had brought with me were constricting my boobs and they were hurting so much, particularly my nipple area as well. And even if the wind blew and I had no bra on, I was like, oh my God, because I'm not like one for a bra. I like to just let them loose because they're not the biggest boobs ever, and they're always nice and small and perky and just nice. But they're not like that now. which I'll explain about later. Confirmed my pregnancy, tired and craving healthy food. So I said I had no cravings, but this was the only thing that I can remember that stands out quite vividly is I was like salad. I want like hard-boiled eggs, tomatoes. The thoughts of them right now was just making my mouth water as well. I just wanted healthy food, sweet corn and vegetables, and not so much fruit but more savory, healthy food. Obviously I'm a nutritionist, so I'm very much into my eating well, but I do eat takeout if I want to have it. Like, I'll just have it. Friday night is pizza night here. Like, it's just a tradition. Craving healthy food was not bizarre to me, but it was just something that I know there was an overwhelming urge for it. Cramping a little bit, kind of like your period's coming, but it felt all day almost, and it was like a stretching sensation, more in my lower abdomen, and I had a 6 sour stomach. I would describe this more of like if you were ever felt car sick. I felt car sick once in my life. I'm amazing at traveling anyway. Compare to that, the nausea that I felt initially, it was just that kind of like, I feel like I'm going to be sick, but I'm not really. My mouth's getting a bit watery. It'll pass. I have an awful phobia of people being sick. Not myself per se, but other people. Ugh. And I think that's just what makes me like have such a strong stomach. I'm like, don't get sick. I don't know. It's just the weirdest fear. Like, even been in the hospital, I'm terrified if I see someone being sick. It's the only thing I'm afraid of. Only thing in the world. I would get into a pit of spiders and snakes and all sorts of crazy animals and climb to the highest, tallest building. I have no fears like that. It's just someone being sick. It's the weirdest thing ever. And I think that's, again, why my stomach is so strong, and there's a lot of things that I can handle. I could eat anything and it wouldn't make me sick. I don't know, maybe that's nothing to do with the phobia, but it's just in regards to all that. Peeing a lot more, slightly more tired. My mood was good and I was feeling happy, and slightly emotional, just kind of was thinking more PMS. This was just when I'd found out, or kind of just before. 6 weeks, we're into the headaches. Great, they're back. Headaches, migraines. I suffer from them, you guys know that. B12, zinc and magnesium is what I was taking prior to my pregnancy to help with my migraines. I hadn't had a migraine in about 110 days or something like that. I can even remember it before I got pregnant, and at 6 weeks they came back, and I get one at least once or twice a week. It's been very, very, very difficult, and another reason why I haven't been online. It's the only reason I've been feeling sick, and like, I haven't been nauseous or anything like that in regards to the pregnancy. It's mostly the sickness that I have had with the migraines. I've had to take 2 days off work, which is just crazy. I know I work from home, but still, they've been very difficult. My latest one was Saturday night going all the way to Monday evening. It was excruciating. All I can take is paracetamol, which I think is called Tylenol in the US. I can't take anything else. I can't take any preventatives. The only thing I'm on right now is an antenatal, which I started as soon as I found out I was pregnant. Constipation. This was before I even missed my period, and it was continuing for a few weeks. Not sleeping well at night. Vivid dreams. The dreams are crazy. Like, I mean, they're nuts. I have the most vivid, realistic dreams. I wake up the next morning, I'm like, did that actually really happen? Thirsty more. I think it was just because I was peeing a lot more. So I think I was peeing more because I was drinking more, or I was drinking more because I was peeing more. It was a vicious like cycle. Sore boobs, sensitive nipples continuing. They're still sore to this day. So like, yeah, they're still quite sore. I think it felt like more like they were burning, but I think it was just a stretching sensation. Now at 6 weeks, after we had sex one night, I did spot. It was the only time it's ever happened, and I was kind of a little bit nervous. I didn't ring my doctor or anything like that. It happened on a weekend, and I said, I think it was like a Saturday or a Sunday morning, I'm not sure, but I was like, whenever it happened, I was like, if it continued to the day where I could ring her, I would have rang. But it was literally maybe just the tiniest little spot of blood, and it wasn't there for very long. I know that you get an awful lot of blood flow down to that area. Obviously everything's like changing, and there's a lot of more blood vessels going on, so that's probably what it was. It could have just been the extra blood flow. I'm not really sure. Never happened since, never happened before. I mentioned it even when I was in the hospital the other day, because they did ask me, was there any bleeding? And I said one time, they were like, no, that's okay. And they were kind of reiterating what I just said about the blood vessel. We're on to week 7 now. Still tired. Skin very dry, tight. Face, body and head. My scalp in particular. The dryness from my skin was just excruciating, and I've never had dry skin in my entire life. I think I put a thing up on Twitter as well, just saying like, can anybody give me any remedies for dry skin? Because I've never suffered from it. I'm always into like my body moisturizers, but it's more for the smell and just like moisturizing my skin and just, you know, self-care I just love. then because my skin was dry, but now it's like, it's so dry, like really, really dry. And my face is just particularly dry around my nose, my chin area, around the tops of my forehead and into my scalp. It's just awful. And then getting breakouts, like I have a lot of breakouts on my chin and around my nose. I haven't been wearing makeup because of the breakouts. I don't want to irritate them anymore. And then my boobs did go up this week from a 32B to a 34D. I have a small frame. To go from a 32B to a 32D in literally 3 weeks was just an awful lot for my body, and that's kind of why they hurt so much, and the strain of them. I just don't wear bras as much. I've been wearing a lot more sports bras because I just find that bras are just not even comfortable because my boobs are so sore. It's not like they're big naturally. It's not like they're a natural 34D. They've stretched and they're big and they're full, and they just, you know, I know it's going to get worse. I know, because obviously they're going to get filled with milk and they're going to be feeding the baby, so I know that they're going to enlarge more. Bloating and constipation continuing. I don't know if that was from my prenatal, from the iron perhaps. The bloating obviously from the progesterone. I know that hormone slows down your whole body, all like completely, your digestive system. Nausea and food evasions. This is the first time I actually had, like, I can't look at that, the smell of that, ugh. It was a weird thing because Patty and I used to go to Grilltown and Cool Mine like every now and again. It was like a healthier kind of option. It has like rice and chicken and stuff. And the thoughts of that, he suggested it one night and I was like, absolutely no way. The thought of pulled chicken, ugh, no. Or rotisserie chicken, ugh, no. Breathing gums when brushing. I didn't get it any other time other than when I was brushing and flossing, and I haven't contacted my dentist because it's not a major concern of mine, because again, I know the blood flow is, you know, rapidly flowing around my body, but it's not consistent and it's not every single day and not every single time I brush. It's just every now and again. Up to 8 weeks now. Extreme tiredness and exhaustion. This is where it got really, really bad, and I cannot commend Paddy for being so amazing and supportive at this time, because I think this was the worst. Like, I'm blessed with him as a partner. He is the most amazing man I've ever met in my whole entire life. I don't know where he's been all my life. I am just so blessed and lucky to have him, and I just can't believe how much I love him and I'm sharing all this with him. But every time I was feeling like a big moan bag and tired and exhausted, he was just there being like, go for a sleep, go for a nap, we'll go home, we'll do this. Like, he's just so amazing. But the tiredness that I can only compare it to was jet lag. After I came home from China, I felt like that for about a week, whereas this exhaustion is all day, every day. It doesn't let up. Some days it's worse than others. My sister's birthday was on the 7th of October. I was the sickest I think I've ever been that day, between having a migraine and then we went for Indian food, which I absolutely love. But the smell of the restaurant, it's not even the food, it was just the smell of like the furniture. I don't know what it was. Maybe they used like a fabric softener or a room spray or something. Whatever it was in the Indian restaurant, it was making me feel so unwell. And Indian food is like my favorite. I love it so much. I'm having an Indian tonight actually. I'm gonna get lab dab dar, I think, or tikka masala, or maybe Rogan Josh or Jalfrezi, or maybe all of the above. I don't know. I'm very excited for my Indian tonight. The nausea and thoughts of certain food making me feel like I was going to be sick, but I never puked ever. So I did change my prenatal from taking it from the morning to the evening time around week 9, and this seems to help a lot more with my nausea. Week 9, I had a lot of stretching and pulling ligaments in my abdomen, a sore back on my lower abdomen, or my lower back rather. What am I actually trying to say? I'm reading this as well, guys. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. Nausea has lessened, and I said my prenatals are making me feel sick. That's why I started taking them in the evening. My prenatals have ginger in them as well to counteract nausea, and I only got them for the first 3 months, the ones with ginger in it, because I just thought it would help, but it didn't, and I won't be getting those prenatals again because the ginger in them was too much. I was getting a little bit more energy around week 9, but very vivid dreams continuing. The sore back is the thing that I suffer from now and again, and it's a sciatic nerve. And I know it's a sciatic nerve because it's a pinching nerve and it goes down my bum on both sides, and I just know the position of where your sciatic nerve is. And I don't know if it's the placenta forming on that, like on my back, or or if I'm going to have back labor or what it is, or maybe it's just like a freak thing, or maybe I wasn't sleeping well. So I'm going to invest in a pregnancy pillow. I only kind of think I really need it now in the next couple of weeks, because I'm still able to sleep on my belly, even though it's advised to sleep on like your left side. And I'm a right side sleeper, so that's been probably the hardest thing, is sleeping on the other side. At 10 weeks, the headaches have increased. So for the last few weeks, the headaches had just gotten worse. This is probably the worst symptom I've had from pregnancy, bar none, and it's just the worst symptom in my life. It's the only thing I suffer from. The only issue I have in my life is migraines, and I had them so under control, and it just has been debilitating for me again, because taking time off work and not being able to finish things and been sleeping all day and missing out on activities, even though I'm in lockdown, it's been horrible. Like, I was sick all weekend, like I said, and I felt so bad for Paddy, because he was just, there's nothing he could do. Like, we couldn't even go for a walk, we couldn't do anything, because I was just bedridden. So I got my first scan on 10 weeks, so we got to see our little bub moving around. Everything went really well. It was surreal listening to the heartbeat, seeing the baby and its hands moving, and even though it wasn't like fully formed at 10 weeks, it's just amazing what a miracle it is to see the baby, and I just couldn't believe it. Healthy heart rate of 179 BPM. And again, I was measuring around a day behind. So I was measuring, my dates said I was 10 weeks, 4 days, and I was measuring 10 weeks, 3 days. But when I went in for my checkup the other day with my doctor, I'm measuring on time. So my baby is going to be due hopefully on the time I think it will be. Pressure on my lower abdomen, my left lower abdomen. And now I know what that is. It's the cyst, and it's pressure and it stings. The acne spots on my chest and my upper back, that's when these started. I'm just getting like little pimples. They're not like, it's not acne. It's not, they're like under the skin and there's nothing in them. I know that sounds gross, like they're not like something you could squeeze. They're just like little pimples, and they're just raised and red on my chest area. There's not that many of them now. Like, there was maybe about 10, and I think maybe there's like 2 or 3 now. And then on my back, again, it was on my upper back. My back is actually fine now. Yeah, because I asked Paddy to look at it the other night, and he said there's nothing on it, no spots, no nothing. So they kind of just came and went. By 11 weeks, any nausea that I'd ever felt was completely gone. A little more energy. My skin very dry, still continuing. I have to size up in my bottoms. At week 11, I could no longer fit into my UK size 6 jeans. That just wasn't happening anymore, which I don't really care about. I've invested in lovely trousers from Misguided that are maternity. I made the stupid mistake of, even though I read it and it says buy your own size, I was like, oh, I'll buy a UK size 8 because, you know, they'll be a little bit comfier, and they're just long on the legs and baggy on the front. So if you are buying anything maternity, buy the original size that you were. You have not put on that much weight in your waist. It's just your belly. Week 12, feeling very emotional. So the emotions is just bizarre, because there's nothing happening. My life is amazing at the moment, but it's just the most weirdest sensation, just feeling overly emotional about everything. And at week 12, I was feeling pressure down there when I sit down. It's more like there's a little bit more heaviness down there. Pinching back pain, I already talked about that. Waking up to pee in the middle of the night, that went on for a couple of weeks. I don't really have that as much. Like, I mean, in the middle of the night, I'd have like pains where I'd need to pee so bad. And then week 12, I lost my appetite completely, and I feel like my appetite hasn't really come back now. Even my appetite's very poor. That's why I'm drinking a shake, because I'm trying to get even some protein or anything into me. My appetite's very, very, very low. This morning I had a slice of toast. I've had that protein shake now. I just need to eat more, and it's like a conscious thing in my head, eat, and I don't know what's wrong with me. I have to force myself to eat. Maybe it'll just come back. Boobs still sore. I mean, they're just sore now. I just feel like the pregnancy, they're just going to be sore. Still slightly bloated. I am now as well. And then stretching in my uterus, which I actually feel the stretching going up further. And they say that obviously your uterus stretches like so much during pregnancy, and that it's the biggest that it'll ever be obviously during pregnancy, and then it goes back down to its normal size. So they're kind of like my most common symptoms. I know there's like so much. I know this video is going to be ridiculously long, but look, I don't really care, because I had a lot to talk to you guys about. Like, I had a lot to get off my chest, a lot to say. My pregnancy has been lovely. Like, I've really just felt fine. In my first trimester, I will say that I did feel like I had like a flu or I was sick or under the weather. It's the weirdest description, but that's just how I felt. I didn't feel like me. Now I'm starting to kind of feel a bit more myself, and I forget that I'm pregnant sometimes, whereas initially I did not forget I was pregnant because there was just something, I was not in a like feeling right. I just wasn't. I was like emotional, and my boobs were big, and my belly was swollen, and I was like really bloated, needing to pee, and just it was just a whole litany of different things. It was like I was just really under the weather and sick. But now I feel so much better, and the tiredness, thank God that that's gone. I think like the migraines are still going to be the worst symptom, and I just hope that they will go away or something, or if there's anything therapeutic that's better than paracetamol and ginger tea, because it's just not cutting the mustard. Right guys, I think that is all I want to talk to you guys about. Let's show you the little glimpse of the bump. I have my maternity bottoms on and they come up really high, so I'm going to move them down because actually I'd prefer for you guys just to see the bump and not like maternity pants. Like obviously this doesn't, it's not a look. I'm not leaving the house, don't worry. There is bump a little bit better. I don't know, it's only a little bit of a bump. I don't even know if it's a bump or bloat. I had to take out my belly bar because it was annoying me, but that's what it looks like. We're a lot rounder, I guess. I had definitely got like a flat stomach. Not just saying that, like that's just my body shape. So when I pull up these pants a bit, like this is such a vibe, guys. Like what a look. When you pull up these up, you can kind of, I don't know, see maybe a bit more. I don't know. That's all we're looking like really. The bump's not really like popping yet, obviously. I'm only just started my second trimester. I don't expect to have like a big bump, but it'll pop when it pops, and I'm just hoping that like I can maintain my weight and stuff like that. I don't want to lose weight obviously, but I want to just kind of gain the recommended amount of weight, which is a pound a week. So I'll be happy out if it's a pound a week. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it was a long one. Like I said, I had a lot to talk about. I'm really excited to share this journey with you guys, and I can't wait to make more content like this on this channel. And I'm just so glad you guys are here to support me, to talk to me, and that I can talk to you guys. I love hearing your stories and talking about your babies, and some of you guys I know are pregnant as well, and it's just amazing. So we're all in this like fun little journey together. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye guys.